Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin, welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, got a great topic, got some great sales. I want to talk about the new normal. Is this the new normal? I don't know if this is happening to you, but for me, in the last 30 days, we've had 5 days with sales under $100. That's not really good, but you know what? There could be some extenuating circumstances why that's happening, but I want to talk about some more macro issues as well, things that might be affecting a lot of resellers and things that we're all doing to kind of make up for it a little bit. I know I'm doing 3 or 4 things differently than I've done in the past to get the same amount of sales that I used to get, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the new normal, and I want to talk about a bunch of stuff that's sold today. Let's take a look. I want to also get your input on some of these issues as we go through some of the sales, but we're going to talk about more in depth after about 4 sales. This is the first one. It is a Coach bag fob. I guess you could use it as a keychain, which is how I list it, like a clutch bag, a wallet. You know, there's all kinds of different ways you could list this, but I got this one off of a Coach bag that was just totally trashed. I think I paid $1 for it at a sale because it was just trashed, knowing I would take this off of it and sell it for $10. And that's what we did, except for it sold for $9.50 because I sent out an offer for 5% off. Speaking of a new normal, cross-posting might be a new normal for some folks. We'll talk about that a little later in the video. For now, I'm only cross-posting on Bonanza, only because it's automated, but that may have to change for me here in the near future as well. This is the Gopher from Caddyshack. It is tested and working, and it sings that song, which I'm not going to sing because I'm not a good singer, plus it gets stuck in my head forever. I love that movie. Bill Murray and Caddyshack is just awesome. Come to think of it, I don't have that VHS sealed, so maybe I'll have to look. Maybe does anybody else out there have that VHS sealed in your store somewhere? Maybe you can shoot me a message and I'll pick it up if it's a decent price. There are a bunch of different VHS Caddyshacks, but I don't think I have any of them, and this is probably in my top 10, certainly in my top 5 comedy movies of all time. I love that movie. Another one of those dry rot shirts that are just crazy awesome, and this might be the cream of the crop. And I hear Turner out there with Bubba and Turner out there shooting their BB gun. Shooting Turner's BB gun. Bubba's a little too old for a BB gun, but oh, I don't know. Are you ever too old for a BB gun? This one went to a viewer. Check it out. I got the tags right there. This is, you know, huge plus to have that on it. It is going to be a wall hanger because it is dry rotted. See the tear right there. And there might be another one somewhere in it. I think there probably is. And maybe not. Right there, tiny one right there. You see that one? And that probably is it. So this would just be, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars if it wasn't dry rotted. But it is in such great shape that it's going to be a terrific wall hanger. And this one is from 93, I think. 90, I think that's right. Just a crazy cool one. Somebody the other day was telling me about a slowdown in the vintage market, and I think there might be a slight one, the vintage tee market, but I still see some shirts going for crazy prices out there, and I see more and more people wearing vintage. Like, this isn't a fad that's going away anytime soon. Jeremiah bought this one right here. Thank you. So this is JJS-Flippin-Deals. I've learned a lot from you and appreciate your knowledge and experience. I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan, and I have my own personal collection of everything from vintage hats to sealed VHS and almost every video game version made. I saw you talking about these shirts, and I just had to try for it. Thank you, Jay. That is awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you got it. It is, in my opinion, it's one of the top 2 of the whole bunch. And that one, I know it's dry rotted, but other than that, is in terrific condition. Thank you so much. $107.50 plus shipping. You may remember me picking these up at a sale not too long ago. It was a pretty good sale because they had a bunch of stuff like this, and it was $1 a piece. And I'm like, geez, can't beat that. I don't want to drop it and break it, but that one right there, $1 a piece, sold for $39.90 for that Pyrex plus shipping. 1 cover on it, 2 dishes. Great sale. I love that. Take a little while to package it up, but $2 into 40, I think that's worth it.
Hey, Dad.
What's up?
I got up all the flags.
You got up all the flags? That's a great question. So let me give you a rubber band. And we're going to put the rubber band around those flags right there. And then we'll bring them in and ask Mama what she wants to do when she gets home. How you doing? Huh? How you doing? Let's talk for a second about the new normal, and we'll talk about it throughout the rest of the video on and off as well. You know, there's a ton of folks who started reselling, you know, during the pandemic because they had time. They weren't at their business and they were, you know, at their job, at their place of employment, and they had time to do it. And they started, and stuff was selling like crazy during that time period for multiple reasons. Not just because people were at home, but mostly because there was, you know, a flood of dollars out there. There was a lot of easy money out there. Plus, there was people who needed stuff to do at home. You know, the whole puzzle thing. You know, if you were selling puzzles, you were making money. If you're selling board games, video games, you were making money because people were staying home. That just isn't the reality of reselling, and a lot of people are really disappointed now when things have come back to normal. There's not a lot of easy money out there. You know, interest rates were extremely low, and people were taking money out of their homes. Their equity in their homes was massive because home prices were up and there was a lot of easy money out there. The government was sending out checks. I mean, there just was a lot of easy cash, and people felt pretty confident to buy. And this market is definitely a little bit different. I'm not going to sit here and tell you reselling's dead. It's not dead. But your expectation has to be a little bit lower than I think it was 2 years ago. I know mine is. I will temper that a little bit and say that the buying side is about as good as it's going to get for a while, other than, you know, going to thrift stores. I think those are out of control. But I think there's a ton of buying opportunities out there. But you can't just buy and not be able to sell. And I think that the micro market out there for each individual seller is going to be different based on what you sell and where you source. But the macro part of reselling it's going to be a little bit tough for a while. That's my opinion, so don't get mad at me. But it is my opinion, and I think it's pretty clear based on my numbers out there that you may need to make a few adjustments if you're going to continue to stay in this game. And I really could make a whole video about this and get all your all's input on it. And I think that some people have made these adjustments. I'm talking about making adjustments, doing things the way that I do them in this particular style. Being a little bit more picky, you know, not buying items that are going to sit on the shelves forever, which I've done that for a long time. I mean, I just like buying stuff and cool stuff. But being a little bit more selective, I think, is going to be key. There may be a few other things that I'm going to talk about in the coming months as well, as I get feedback from some of y'all who are full-time sellers out there, part-time sellers, and just kind of keep an eye on what's going on out there. But certainly cross-posting might be one of those things, and you'll probably hear me talk about it. It is in my plans for the near future. I did it, and then I stopped, and then I did it again, and then I stopped, and now I do it a tiny bit. And I think I may ramp that up. I don't do promoted listings, but I have talked to a lot of folks out there right now who are doing promoted listings, and they don't seem to have the same problems that people who don't do promoted listings are. And I'm not out here to suggest doing that just yet to everybody. It just depends on your situation. But I can certainly see how people who are in this thing for the long haul, full-timers, it's something that probably needs to happen, as much as I hate it, because I think this system is just... it's very difficult, and cutting into the margin more and more is kind of hard when you're dealing with rising shipping prices. But you know what? It might be a necessary evil for some folks out there. I'm going to resist it till the last day I can possibly resist it. I'd rather put stuff on sale, and that's what I've done. I've sent out offers at 5%. And you might say, well, you know, you send out offers at 5%. Why not promote at 5%? I don't know. I guess I'd rather pass the savings on to the buyer than to eBay. But that's a debate we need to have as well. And I think there's all kinds of things. I didn't used to send out offers every day. Now I wake up every day and I send out an offer because I want to get those sales back to the level they were at. And they're not quite there. But you know what? We're still making sales. I think there's $600 headed out of here today. Sold a couple of different glowworms at different prices. I think I paid 50 cents for each. This one, I don't even know. Is that like a butterfly? That one's a kind of a different one, but that one sold for $16 and change, I think, plus shipping, or 17 and change plus shipping. And this one should go out first class. I've sent out most plush in a poly bag, but these with the hard components to them, I will either put in a padded bag that I get from eBay, or I'll put it in a light, 8x6x4 box from SupplyHut. and ship them out in that, and it'll still stay first class. SupplyHut.com, code Commonwealth, 5% off. Thank y'all so much for using that. If you're going to buy this stuff, and you're going to find a great price with Charlie's stuff over there, and he's adding things all the time, and you can get 5% off on top of it. I really appreciate that. Here is another one. This one didn't sell for much. I paid 50 cents for this glowworm, and it sold for $7.10 plus shipping. I think that's right. I got those numbers wrong. $7.60 plus shipping, $16.15 plus shipping. And the strange thing is those sold to 2 different people hours apart. So they've been in the store for a while, and they sell to 2 different people hours apart. Kind of weird. Sold a couple of Schrade old timer blades from Matt Part-Time Picker's drawer. And they're the small ones. This one came from Maryland, so thank you if it did. Those little, I'm not good at pocket knives, y'all. I have slowly been able to learn. I've learned Schrade. I've learned to look for, you know, things from Japan or Taiwan and not from China and United States especially, but I'm no expert. I am going to try to keep getting better. $19 plus shipping. Wallen's in here looking for treats. Wallen's been a little bit better behaved lately. Camp Snoopy Cups. You might remember this from sale not too long ago. Camp Snoopy Collection. Right there from the 70s, I think. Late 70s. I'm going to break it. I like this. Civilization is overrated. I remember Camp Snoopy at Knott's Berry Farm in California when I was growing up. So, at any rate, those sold for $22.80 right there. They sold to Kevin, and it says repeat buyer, Kevin, and I recognize your name, so thank you very much. This is one of those sales right here. You could get maybe the 8x6x4 box if you had one of these and get it out just barely first class. With the box and packaging, you could get it out first class. But with 2, it's going to have to go priority mail, unfortunately. But that's why it's difficult to figure out, you know. It's the best thing to do is you sell a whole bunch of these, the whole set. But we only had 2, so I just like, you know what, put them together. We'll figure it out. We'll make a little bit of money. We're into these for next to nothing. I think $1. So, and we bought tons of them. And so, you know, we'll make 10 bucks on this deal. Speaking of shipping, I want to give a thank you to John from Elgin, Illinois, for buying plans for the Commonwealth Picker shipping table over on CommonwealthPicker.com. And I have an epic reseller fail. I have run out of USPS shoe boxes. I'm like, did I really run out? I went up there because I have tons of them up here. I'm like, I got to have a shoe box up here somewhere, don't I? And sure enough, I don't. So I had to order some, and they're on their way. But in the meantime, I'm out, and I hate running out of stuff. I usually order tons of extra. Too Sexy sold right there. He's been up there for a while. And Too Sexy went to Brad. I think it's Brad. Yep, it is. BTM-Treasures. He says he's going to sit him up on the shelf to overlook all of his reselling operations. So, Brad, thank you. And Too Sexy is headed your way. I can't remember if I said how much for. $7.95 plus shipping. And this, where'd it go? The Mavericks shirt. Toltex Maverick. Not the Mavericks. I love the Mavericks. It's a great band. But this is Maverick, the movie. And this is the later version of Maverick, not the James Garner star. This is the Mel Gibson starring. James Garner was in that movie. Pretty sure, with Jodie Foster. And this one is also dry rotted, but it is a sweet looking shirt. When I first looked at it at a glance, I thought it was Dick Tracy, and then I looked, I'm like, no, that's a cowboy hat. So it is the Maverick, and that one is headed out the door. My grandma sure loved James Garner and the Maverick, and I loved James Garner and Rockford Files. 1994. It sold for $15 plus shipping. And of course, it would have sold for more, but it is dry rotted. And it went to a viewer. So I think so far, have all of the t-shirts, all 3 of them gone to viewers? I think they have. So there you go. Now, these would still sell, okay? But I did put them out on auctions. Whenever we do put things out on auctions, a lot of times viewers will buy them, and it drives the price up a little bit. I would say this is probably more like a $10, $12 shirt without a viewer. I think this is probably close to the $75, $80 range on this one. Just to give you an idea. Because, you know, when you're on YouTube and you do this stuff, and now, you know, Facebook is, we're putting Flipper videos on Facebook soon and whatever. So, you know, I don't want to give a false expectation of auctions. it works in this situation a little bit better. And to be honest with you, I didn't really know the value of these because these are the only dry rot ones out there. And, you know, how many people like to hang this stuff and whatever. I just didn't know, so I put it out on auction. But anyway, thank you to Angela. She says, thanks for the great content. We have learned a lot. I do like the history parts of the video, she says. So I should have got into some cinematic history right there, James Garner. And Blue Ridge Mama is great too. She needs to be on the Trash to Cash podcast to help mediate the chaos. So for one, she was on one episode for a little while. When I walked out of the room, she just jumped on there. And I don't know if she'd help mediate it or not. I think she'd create more. You see, my wife doesn't watch much of my content, but she listens in her car to the Trash to Cash podcast, and she loves it. It's because Carrie and Dave are always making fun of me. And that's why she likes the podcast. So she would also join in making fun of me. So I'm not so sure how good that would be. Certainly wouldn't be good for me, but she's pretty funny. Funnier than me, for sure. Sold another one of the Virginia Tech jerseys. And it might not look like Virginia Tech to you, but Virginia Polytechnic Institute is Virginia Tech. And it's a legit jersey here. Throwback jersey. Worn by the team. I don't know if this one was girls or boys. And that one sold pretty quick. Like the other one's $50 for that one. $50 plus shipping on that one right there. I just looked at it. I take that back. Not plus shipping. $49.99 of free shipping. All right, y'all. I got Turner here. He's going to help me do a few things here. Would you unwrap that for everybody to see what that is? That is a gift. Came from Chris. Flip the World. Check it out. Looks like our IKEA bag, doesn't it? Let me see. Check it out, Flip the World. It's exactly like the one we have over here. That's in CommonwealthPicker.com, although I don't know if they're still there or not. I probably shouldn't say that. And he sent me one of these, and I sent him one of mine because he's the one who introduced me to the gentleman who makes them. Mm-hmm. So, Chris, thank you very, very much. We appreciate you, and we love your channel. And he does Whatnot auctions live from the bins. If y'all want to check him out sometime, open that one for me. And while you're opening that one, I'm going to show him this. This is from Ryan Self. Ryan, thank you. And he's talking about my bracelets, which most people hate them. They're like, would you just stop it and take them off? Like I'm going to like that? All right, well, let me do this first. So, Ryan, thank you. And you got a pic right there. He says he wears one. And he'd love to know the stories behind mine. Well, I change them all the time. But Isaiah 117 is a charity that I shouldn't even say we, because it's really the viewers out there. We do certain auctions and give to them each year and sponsorships just as a way to give back. And it is a charity that helps out with foster kids. So I'll get into it in detail at some point.
It's
Utica.
Utica.
That's in New York. That's right. And it's from American Boba Boy.
You love coffee.
I do love coffee, don't I?
Mom does too.
Yeah, she does. And Joel sent us some coffee from American Boba Boy. Joel, thank you. Very kind of you. Y'all, if you need some bubble wrap, go check that link below. Oh, look, I'm out of bubble wrap. I got to go up there. I actually have my bubble wrap on automated delivery. Turner's got a joke for us, by the way, but let me talk about bubble for just a second, and then you can tell us our joke. Tell us the joke for the day, some Commonwealth comedy. So one thing that's cool about Bubble Boy is that you can set it up to show up, you know, every month or every 3 months or, you know, once a year or whatever it is. You can automate it to show up. So Joel, thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. If y'all would take a minute, if you ever need bubble wrap, and use our links below, I'd appreciate that greatly. And if you get it somewhere else cheaper, or they get it to you for free or whatever at your job, that is awesome. But Joel is a good guy, and they deliver super quick to most places in the United States. I usually get my bubble wrap in 2 days or less. All right, you got a joke for us. What do you got?
So if a fly had no wings... All right, I'm sorry. I gotta laugh at myself for a little bit.
You're laughing at your own joke? All right.
If a fly had no wings, wouldn't it be a walk? I mean.
Very good. Your stand-up comedian job is right there in the near future. I like it. Wouldn't a fly be a walk, right? Because if it had no wings, right?
I mean,
very good,
fly.
buddy.
It could walk, though.
That's right. Thank you for the Commonwealth comedy.
Bye.
Let's do a quick giveaway. We did a giveaway last episode, and I said it'd be 2 episodes from then before you heard the winners, but it's actually going to be the next episode, so here they are. Q Henry won the IKEA bag and the fanny pack that we gave away on Pinterest, and Tammy Byers won the giveaway for YouTube. Contact me in an email, commonwealthpicker@gmail.com, and give me your information. I'll verify it, and we'll get this sent off to you. You may remember we did that giveaway because I was announcing the sponsorship from adts.com, and I'm wearing one of those shirts right now that they sent us, which I'm just so ecstatic about. And they're pretty unique ones over there. Most of them, they contract with different folks, and some of them you can find other places for cheaper, but some like this are just hard to find. I absolutely love this one. And thank you, by the way, for all the people who went over there and checked them out. And for the people who used my code, 30% off code Commonwealth, 80stees.com, or went through the link, or went through this link tree here. All of this stuff that I talk about, whether it's the Trash to Cash, Vegas Bash, whether it's the Reseller Rally, whether it's the Amazon links, eBay links, the My Reseller Genie links, all the links we have are always found right there in that QR code. You can scan it with your phone if you're watching this on TV, but if you are watching it on your phone, then you can go to Instagram and check the link tree over there. Go to the video description, find the link tree, or find the link itself. You can find out. We're working on an expanded website. That's not just our merch, that we can put all that stuff. People ask me all the time, and Facebook's growing so much, and Garage Sale Nation Facebook group is growing so much. Trash to Cash group is just growing by like 100 a day. The podcast, Garage Sale Nation YouTube channel, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, TikTok. I mean, it just goes on and on and on with how much you guys have blessed me and my family. And all of these things wouldn't be possible without you, and I just wanted to thank you for that. And mention one more thing, speaking of being, so blessed here, is List Perfectly has joined in and sponsored our little Vegas, Trash to Cash Vegas Bash, which is really, really cool. So, all this stuff's so super expensive these days, and if you're headed over there, it's going to be fun. We're going to be doing a few giveaways as well. $40 the ticket. You can find that link over here in the link tree as well. You can find it in the video description. You can go over to Trash to Cash Podcast, find it over there in those video descriptions, or just bug Dave, NC Picker. He'll tell you where it's at. And it's $40. We're going to do a get-together on the 21st of April, and then on the 22nd of April, we're going to have a dinner. So the dinner's included, and drinks are included and all that. So $40, pretty reasonable price for that. We're super excited, and we wouldn't be able to do it without sponsors like List Perfectly. Sold a couple more club head covers from the Lost and Found sale, $16.14 after a 5% off offer, and $10.50 plus shipping on the Ping G10 3-wood cover. Hey y'all, we got a bunch of sales out of CommonwealthPicker.com, but we're going to spread them out over a couple days. So Reagan's just got a few today. What do you got?
Susan from Old Town, Minnesota got a CWP bag, and Betty got I don't know what she got, but she's from Kentucky.
She got a tumbler. She got one of these tumblers right there. That's right. And the bags are all, yeah, the bags are all gone. They're definitely all gone. I did keep a couple back for a few different purposes, but they are all gone at this point, which is really amazing. Thank you all very much. We appreciate you. And Betty, I think she told me her son had autism, and she told me a few things in the message, and I can't quite remember, so my apologies, Betty, but thank you so much for your kind words. I do appreciate it.
Bye, and don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
2 sales, 2 announcements. We'll start with an announcement. The Reseller Rally in Cincinnati, September 30th, is sold out. It's sold past capacity. So unless there's some announcement that I'm not aware of just yet from John, Cincinnati Picker, or Pete Craigslist Hunter, it's sold out. So I'll keep you updated if anything changes, like venue change or something, but that is not in the cards as far as I know. Thank you for the overwhelming response. I can't wait to meet so many of you out there in Cincinnati in September. Sold some magical mic. It's like political, I don't know, for lack of a better term, propaganda. This is the real story of Mike Dukakis. So this would have been the 1988 campaign against Bush, right? Reagan, 80, 84, 88 would have been the first Bush, Herbert Walker Bush, and going against Michael Dukakis, the governor of Massachusetts. And this was made in Virginia. There's a set of 4 here, and it's just a booklet against Michael Dukakis. And I listed it. I'm like, whatever. I don't even know where I got it. And I put it out there for like $8. Never sold. No surprise. And then I put it on clearance and it sold for like $5.70. I'm like, ugh, I wish I'd have just taken it off. But you know what? I guess I'll make $1.50 maybe on these. Am I even going to make that much? I might, maybe, let's say $1. I'm going to make $1 on these. Is it worth it? No. Sold t-shirt. Golden Girls t-shirt. It is 2XL Golden Girl t-shirt. I think I got this way back when off of Eric OBX Picker. I think that's where I got it. $12.95 plus shipping. I like those sales. You know, you find something like that for $1. You sell for $12.95. It's so easy. The money that comes in for the time you put in makes it worth it to me. I know it's not the same for everybody out there, but it is for me. If you're a clothes seller out there, how are your sales? And I'm curious, if you're a clothes seller, are you cross-posting? And if you are, if you just sell almost exclusively clothes, what's your other, are you doing just eBay? A lot of clothes sellers are just Poshmark. I'm curious, if you're a clothes seller selling on 2 platforms, tell me the 2 or more platforms you're selling on, or maybe you're selling on all of them. So tell me in the comments below. Speaking of t-shirts, don't forget 80stees.com for these crazy unique shirts that I've been wearing, that I wear all the time. Thank you so much. They've been sending me shirts. Thank you for clicking through that link, because if y'all do that and you buy a shirt every now and again, they're going to send me shirts. And I really like these shirts. Go check them out. It's code Commonwealth if you want to get 30% off your order. You can go through the link, and sometimes they have 75% off the second shirt. So, anyway, anybody out there like me, just love this. This is Fraggle Rock, y'all. Boober from Fraggle Rock. I just love it. Thank y'all so much for joining me. As always, I hope your sales are going well, but give me honest feedback below if they're not. I'm always curious to hear. Get my finger on the pulse of reselling out there. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.